Why are there so many pressure units in thermodynamics? Imagine trying to measure how hard the air pushes against your hand in different places around the world. You might notice that the numbers and units change, and it can seem confusing. That's because pressure units are used everywhere, but not all in the same way. Pressure is simply force applied over an area, but how we measure that force varies a lot. The reason is that different countries, industries, and scientific fields have their own history and preferences for units. The most common pressure unit in science today is the Pascal. It comes from the International System of Units, which is used worldwide for consistency. 1 Pascal equals 1 Newton of force applied over 1 square meter. But in everyday life, especially in weather reports or engineering, people often use larger units like the kilopascal, which is 1,000 pascals. This makes the numbers easier to handle. In the United States and some other countries, you might hear about pounds per square inch. This unit measures how many pounds of force are pressing on 1 square inch of surface. It's been used for a long time because it fits well with the imperial measurement system. It's common in car tires, plumbing, and many mechanical systems. Historically, pressure was measured with devices like Mercury barometers. These devices led to units like millimeters of mercury and the torr. The millimeter of mercury is based on how high a column of mercury rises in a tube when measuring pressure. The torr is named after Torricelli, who invented the mercury barometer. These units are still used in medicine and science, especially when measuring blood pressure or atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure at sea level is a standard reference point. It is called 1 atmosphere, which equals 101.3 kilopascals, 760 millimeters of mercury, or 14.7 pounds per square inch. Using this standard helps compare pressures across different units and contexts. Different industries prefer certain units because they are more practical for their work. For example, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems often use pascals or kilopascals. Mechanical engineers might prefer pounds per square inch because it's familiar and convenient for their calculations. Scientific research tends to use C units, but legacy units like the torr are still in use. There are also different types of pressure to consider. Absolute pressure measures how much pressure there is compared to a perfect vacuum. Gauge pressure measures how much pressure is above atmospheric pressure. Differential pressure looks at the difference between two pressures. Each type sometimes needs different units or scales to avoid confusion. In the end, the many pressure units exist because of different measurement traditions, historical origins, practical needs, and the variety of applications. Knowing how to convert between them helps scientists, engineers, and technicians communicate clearly and do accurate work. That's why understanding pressure units is so important in thermodynamics and beyond.